Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a Volume 2 Q&A for September. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer some of the questions that were left in the last Q&A video. And I've got them right here. I printed them out so I can read them. And what I'm going to do is there are a few people, well, first of all, I'm going to use only first names. And if the person asking the question has a YouTube channel, I will link that channel below. And so I don't know everyone, so if I miss your name, or if I'm reading a comment where you do have a channel, or you want me to make sure I link your channel below, let me know in the comments, or let me know in the comments. So I'm going to read the first question here. This one is from Lauren. Now, I should say this is from Lauren's collection. She's got a great channel on YouTube. I'm going to link her channel below, but she really has an amazing channel where she talks about movies, and she does haul videos. She knows a lot about Doctor Who and a lot of other things too. But if you get a chance, please follow her channel. It's really, really good. I really, really enjoy her channel. So Lauren, thanks for this question. I'm going to read the whole thing here. She says, I'd love to know what you got. I'd love to know how you got into Criterion and just collecting films in general. Also, what's your all-time favorite Criterion release that they put out? And finally, what advice would you give someone like myself who's getting into Criterion for the first time? And now I happen to know that Lauren had just placed one of her first Criterion orders, so I know she has some Criterion movies, and she picked some great ones to begin with. But let me answer the first part of this question. I do have a video on this also about how I got into Criterion, but I've always really loved films and TV, and I was really interested in special features, and there were not a lot of labels out there that had special features on films. And Criterion was one of the first labels, at least that I saw early on, that had special features, so you could really learn about the film. You could see the behind the scenes, you could see some deleted scenes and things like that. So they were one of the first labels to do that. Now it's pretty commonplace, even on regular releases, to see special features and things like that. So that's kind of how I got into it, and just collecting films in general. As I mentioned, from a very early age, I was always interested in films, and so collecting just became part of what I did. If I really liked a film like Jaws, as an example, I wanted to own it so that I could have a copy of it, watch it anytime I like. I have to say, probably within the last 5 or 10 years, I've really increased my collecting more than I had in the past. I'm really growing my collection at this point. What's my favorite release? Now, this is an easy question. Obviously, Criterion has a lot of great releases, but I have to say my all-time favorite release right now, anyway, I'm going to lift it up here. You need to really be lifting weights in order to do this, but this is the Bergman box set, the Ingmar Bergman box set. You can see how big it is. I remember when it came in the mail, and it was, I thought, there's something out, there's a lead weight in here or something. That's what I thought in the packaging, but this is just a great set. One of my absolute favorite releases from the Criterion collection. I knew a little bit about Ingmar Bergman. I'd seen a few of his films and was a big fan already, but this made me even more of a fan. And this, to this day, and I've got a little over 200 Criterion titles, to this day, this is my favorite release from the Criterion collection. But as you might be aware, there are many releases, and again, Criterion is one of my favorite labels. So, but that is my absolute favorite right now. Maybe they'll come out with something else. I know there's a Fellini box set coming out later this year, but for right now, that's the number one. And then finally, what advice would you give someone who is getting into Criterion? And I think, Lauren, I think you're doing it the right way, which is that you're picking some favorite films that you have, or looking on the website to see what Criterion is releasing, and picking a favorite film that you might have and getting that, because it's going to have special features, behind the scenes, and things like that. Most of the film fans, at least that I know on YouTube, are also fans of companies like Arrow and Indicator and things like that, and they also have special features. And Criterion, again, is no different here, but I feel like they have more just in-depth interviews and supplements that, to me, are very valuable. So I hope that answers your question. If you want to clarify anything, please feel free to leave me a comment below, and I'll answer it in the next round. One other thing I wanted to show on that too is that many times Criterion, I just use this as a copy. This is a recent film that I got. This is a film called Wildlife, which is Paul Dano's first film. And I'll show the front and the back of that. You can see all the special features there. This is a film from 2018. And so I just wanted to point out that Criterion, although they focus on older films or maybe lesser known films, they do release current films too, or things that have been released in the last few years. So this is one of those, and this is great. This edition is really great. Wildlife. Okay, so the next question is from Mike, and I don't think Mike has a channel, but Mike, if you do have a channel, let me know and I can link it in the description below. What do you mean when you say you're getting ready to study the film? Do you like to watch the special features before or after watching a new movie? Now this varies by title. This is a great question though. So usually what I do is I will begin to watch, I'll begin to get curious first of all about a filmmaker or a film. And that's when I think I've kind of started my study of that particular work. So I might look at extra features that are either on the physical media or on the Criterion channel. I should say I have the Criterion channel, so I'm able to explore a lot of the supplements and really get curious about a new film or a new director. And so that's what I mean when I'm starting to get ready to study a film. I look for this entry point into their work. And in the case of Tarkovsky, and I've got a series of videos on this as well, I was looking for a specific entry point into Tarkovsky's work, and I read a BFI article on that. And it gave me a first movie to start with. I was really having trouble with Tarkovsky in the beginning. And so I was able to find an entry point there. So I hope that answers the question about what it means to be getting ready to study the film. Sometimes I'll watch the special features before the film, or I might watch a couple of interviews just to get myself oriented to the work. Many times, in the case of Bergman, I would typically watch the film and then I would watch the special features after that. I may also not watch all the special features, but save that for the next viewing. So for example, a commentary, I might wait until I view the film another time to watch to listen to the commentary. So Mike, that's a great question. Thanks for asking that question. The next one is from Premium Blurays, and Premium Blurays, I think you joined one of the live streams too, and thank you for doing that. I will link your channel below as well. Because you've got a really good channel that I enjoy. Do you watch films based on reviews? And if so, where do you get your reviews from? Or if not, what is your reason or criteria for watching a film? I typically don't read reviews unless I happen to stumble on them, or unless it's a very popular film and there's a lot of reviews out there. I don't really search them out. So I generally don't do that. And I really don't go to the theater that much anymore, not only because of what's happening with the pandemic, but I generally don't go to the theater. I'm pretty much screening films at home. I watch a lot of older films, so many times there may not be a current review out there, although I could seek them out or look for specific film criticism on those things. But I'll give you one example. This is a new film from 2020, Kelly Reichardt's new film called First Cow, and I didn't read anything about this movie at all. I just know that I like Kelly Reichardt's films, and so I bought it. Now this one I don't think was released in the theater, maybe had a very limited release, but see, this one's got a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital copy. So this is one I did not read any reviews on. I heard it was good, but I like all of Kelly Reichardt's films up to this point, so I thought I need to see this one, and I'm collecting her films in general. So that's one example of a movie that I will just get to work on. I should go back also. I had another, when I was talking about my film study, this also is a film that really applies to both of the questions up to this point, the Coker Trilogy. I've got a series of videos on this one also. But this is 3 movies and many, many supplements. But this is another example of, as I mentioned, when I'm ready to study a film, I'm going to probably look at some supplements here. But it's also a film that I didn't really know anything about, a trilogy that I did not know anything about. But I like Abbas Kiarostami's work, and so I thought I need to have this to study it, to learn more about him as a director, learn more about these films, and I'm so happy I did. If you haven't picked up the Coker Trilogy, this is definitely something from Criterion that I highly recommend picking up. And again, I've done a whole series of videos on these as well. So I think that's actually helps to answer both of the questions. Part of Premium Blu-rays question 2 is, what's your reason or criteria for watching a film? I've talked about this, I think, in my last Q&A video, but it really depends on mood for me. I don't have a regular watch list of films. I have some ideas of things I would like to see next. But generally, if I'm looking at the Criterion channel or if I'm picking something from my own collection, I'm considering my mood, the time of year, things like that. and something might catch my interest. Now, even though I love Criterion movies, I may be watching a number of other things, a series on Netflix, a TV show, something that's on network TV here in the US, as well as movies. So there's a variety of things I might be watching or I might be in the mood for. And that's generally how I pick films to watch or TV shows to watch. That's really my reason or criteria for watching a specific film or a TV show. And if I happen to be into a director's work, then I'm going to probably watch more from that director or that filmmaker. So for Tarkovsky as an example, I found an entry point and then I just watched all the films. So the next thing I would watch is another Tarkovsky film. The same thing really with the Bergman films as well. The final question is from Rob. Now, Rob has a great channel on YouTube called The Movie Vault. So if you haven't subscribed to Rob's channel, highly recommend doing that. He also has an amazing collection. He does film reviews, shares what he's watching, haul videos and things like that. I really enjoy his channel and highly recommend that you subscribe to his channel if you get a chance, as well as Lawrence Collection and Premium Blu-rays also. The last question is, do you have any autographed film memorabilia, and do you have any particular piece in your movie collection that's special for any reason? I don't really have anything autographed, but I do have a couple of special pieces that I'll show. And one is this. And I've shown this in I did another video with my Jaws collection, and this is a film. This is actually a I want to get this right. It's called a Cenotype, which was created for Blockbuster when Blockbuster was in business here in the U.S. And it's essentially a single frame from a motion picture film. Now these are probably, they're duplicates, right, or they're reproductions. But this is a film. This is a single frame from the movie Jaws, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm happy to have this in the collection. I like to put this on shelves that I have for movies, and I'm really excited that I have this. And I probably just picked it up at Blockbuster right before they closed, and it was on special or something like that, and I hadn't seen these before, so I thought this is a really great thing to have. So I have this. And then the other thing that I'm excited to have is, I've shown this before too, and this is a limited edition Jaws on Laserdisc, and inside of this too has the soundtrack for Jaws, the novel, and of course Jaws on Laserdisc. Now I don't have a Laserdisc player anymore, but I love having this in my collection. It's got a little booklet in there too, and I have another video on this too, and I'll link that below. But I think this is something I'm really happy to have in my collection. So those are all the questions that I received. If you'd like another question, I'm going to be doing these once a month at least. So if you have any other questions, or maybe I didn't answer the question fully here, please feel free to leave me a comment or a question below. That would be great, and I will do that. I will keep all of those, and I will answer them in the next video. So I want to say also that I really appreciate everyone's support, and with comments and questions and likes. If you like this video, let me know with by clicking on like or subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate that as well. But I really am very thankful for all the comments and questions. So please keep those coming. I like to keep the discussion going in the comments section. And if I missed anything again on this video, let me know in the comments below, and I can clarify it in the next Q&A video. Thanks so much for watching today. I appreciate it. I sincerely hope everyone is safe and well, and I'll talk to you soon.